Now, let me introduce to you Andrew Huff.
Hi, I'm Andrew Huff. Thank you for introducing me and thank you for interviewing me. I am the Director of Community Relations and Outreach at Sibley Memorial Hospital, which is right there in the Palisades. And what I do at Sibley is I work to figure out ways that Sibley can make a difference outside of the hospital in the different neighborhoods around Washington, including the Palisades. And I try to figure out different ways that we can be a part of the neighborhood because we're right there, right smack dab in the middle of the Palisades, and the hospital's not going anywhere. And so, we're always very interested in learning more about the Palisades and how we can be a good neighbor and participate. And the 4th of July parade is one way that we do that.
So, I have some questions for you. The first one, how long have you worked at Sibley Hospital or been in the Palisades?
Sure. I've been at Sibley for about a year and a half. But before that, I worked just down the road at American University. And when I worked at American University, I was the Director of Community Relations. So I got to know a lot of neighbors from the Palisades and a lot of organizations in the Palisades during my time at AU. And I was able to transfer all of that knowledge and all those relationships over to my job at Sibley.
That's really cool. So now I have another question. What is your favorite thing about the Palisades?
My favorite thing, wow. That's a tough question because there's a lot of things to like about the Palisades. I like that it's got a very neighborhood feel to it. It feels like kind of a quintessential American neighborhood. And I also like that it kind of has a little bit of everything. It feels a little bit suburban. It also, it's in Washington, so you're in a very big city. It's got a lot of trees. The tree canopy is beautiful. And it's full of a lot of people like yourself who care about their community. So those are some of the things that I like about the Palisades.
Well, yes, I do care about the community, but did you hear or see the neighborhood caravan to support essential workers that happened in April? And did the hospital workers like it?
I did see it. I was there that day, and part of my job was to help coordinate that with the neighbors. It was the neighborhood's idea. It wasn't Sibley's idea. But I was there that day, and I can tell you that the doctors and the nurses and the other staff members that were there were incredibly touched by it. And many of them told me that they'd never experienced anything like that before in their lives. A lot of them were crying because they were so overwhelmed with emotion, when they saw the neighborhood express such a great level of support for them. So, yeah.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. So, another question is, what do you normally do on the 4th of July?
Well, my oldest son, Fletcher, was born on the 4th of July. So one of the things that we've done and has been a tradition has been that we walk in the Palisades Parade. And before I started to work at American University, I worked for one of the DC council members. And you know that all the council members always march in the parade. So we would always go together, march in the parade. He would eat more candy than he threw, which was okay because it was his birthday. And then we would, go to the rec center and have a hot dog and get on the moon bounce and go into the playground area. And we're bummed that we're not going to be able to do it that way this year, but we're also very happy that the Palisades Citizens Association, or Community Association rather, is going to continue with the parade in a new form. And we're excited to be a part of it this way.
Yes, I love that. That's my favorite thing to do on the 4th of July. But I'm bummed that's not happening this year. But I think it's like the safest choice to do.
It is. It is. It's the best bet right now. Yep.
So this is my final question. Do you have any advice for the Palisades neighbors how to stay safe for the 4th of July?
Absolutely. That's a great question. I would suggest that according to our public health officials and our mayor, that people avoid large crowds. We're in phase 2 of DC's reopening plan, which does allow for crowds of 50 or fewer to gather. That doesn't mean you have to run out and join a crowd of 50 people. I would recommend that people stay home, stay in their backyards, try to enjoy the holiday with their family and maybe a few socially distanced friends. Stay outside if you can, and if you are around other people, outside of your pod, I would suggest that you maintain social distancing at all times. Wear masks, especially if there are any vulnerable people or elderly people that are going to be hanging out, and just try to have fun. We know that everything is different now, and that means the 4th of July is going to be different this year. But try to look at the bright side and enjoy it as much as possible.
That's great advice for everybody. And thank you so much, Andrew Huff, for talking with me today. So that's it for today.
Okay.
Bye.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me. And I'll see you at the 4th of July parade online.
Yes, I'll see you at the 4th of July parade online. Okay, bye.
Bye.